Adam Lerner, and today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about holiday photography and specifically about shooting a family portrait. Now, a lot of you guys are going to be having celebrations where you're going to be getting together with family and friends, and what could be more fun than assembling everybody together and making a picture to commemorate the day, something that you guys can just share. And you know, what's even more fun is often doing that photograph and then making a bunch of prints and sending them out to everybody, and just, you know, so that everybody has that as a keepsake. It's a really nice thing to do, and it's a lot easier than you guys think. Now, this can be done with simply one off-camera flash. And you guys don't really need a lot of fancy equipment to achieve this. So let me just get into that really quickly. What I'd like to first talk about is when you're going to be doing the family portrait, before you even assemble your family, find a space in wherever you're going to be. So if you're at somebody's house, scope the house out. Maybe see if there's like a den or a living room where there's, you know, a good space where it will fit the number of people that you're going to be shooting. So let's say you're shooting 12 people. You want to make sure that at the very minimum you can either fit those 12 people across the frame, or maybe fit them in 2 rows comfortably and have a decent backdrop to shoot against. Another thing that you want to also make sure about is that there's not a lot of distractions and obstructions. So that, you know, you wouldn't want to, let's say, shoot in a weight room, for example. You'd want to shoot, you know, maybe by the Christmas tree or by a fireplace or something like that. Now, speaking of Christmas trees and fireplaces, let's just say you do want to get the Christmas tree and or the fireplace to be part of the shot, okay? So before you even bring the flash into the picture, go into the space with your tripod, put your camera on the tripod, meter for the ambient light in that room, okay? Often it's a good idea to go into aperture priority. Pick a pretty decent aperture. You want to be at least at f4. Anything smaller than that, you might have too shallow a depth of field, and therefore some of the people in the front of the frame might be in focus, maybe some of the people in the back won't be. You want at least f4 to 5.6, somewhere in that range, okay? I'm just going to say f4 for the sake of this. Now, what you want to do is you want to meter for the ambient light so that when you take a photograph minus flash, that the room light seems nicely balanced, okay? So that you get the Christmas tree exposed, or you get the fireplace exposed, or you get the mantle in the shot. You get some of those nice details that are going to inform, you know, the photograph of the time of year and what you're trying to achieve. Okay, so let's say you've got that under control. Next thing you want to do is bring in a flash. Now, oftentimes, you know, simply one flash on an umbrella is sufficient. Now, granted, if you're shooting 30 people, you're going to need more lights. But for a simple family portrait, you can often get by with a 40 or so inch umbrella, maybe 60, but 40 is not a bad size. Set it behind you, or set it in such a way so that you're going to basically spread light across the entire group there. And what you can often try to do is find somebody, you know, your wife, your girlfriend, your brother, your sister, whoever it is, to kind of stand in for you, and have them stand in while you're adjusting your flash to the point where you feel that they're really nicely lit and that the surroundings are nicely lit as well, so that you can pre-visualize that that frame is going to be lit well, so that there's not too much fall off to any one given side, so that whoever is going to be in that frame will be lit nicely. Next thing you want to do is, once you've got your lighting and your flash and everything all set, you also want to put your self-timer into effect, because basically what you're going to be doing is you want to get in that shot too. So when you're assembling that group, you're going to hit the self-timer and then you're going to jump into that shot. So when you get your group together, make sure everybody is lined up really nicely. One thing I often tell groups when I do these shots is, if you can't see me, I can't see you. So if somebody's ducking in the back or hiding behind somebody, even if they're trying to be cute and clever, if they can't actually make visual contact with you, the camera's not going to see them. So that's a really important thing for you to impart to your group as well. So now that you've got your group assembled, you've made sure that everybody can see you, that you can see everybody, because you're actually going to be controlling this all from the camera. What you want to do is you want to set the self timer and, you know, run into the frame and position yourself so that you're obviously not blocking somebody else. and let the shot happen. And then you'll go back to the camera, you'll check the shot. If you need to dial the flash up or down, you can do so. If you need to just adjust the framing ever so slightly, you'll do so. But the point is that you will have done most of the work prior to assembling your family and friends. And this is really important because people's attention spans for these kinds of things, they're not that great. Sometimes people are distracted by conversations, or maybe they're having a little bit too much holiday cheer, drinking a little bit of that eggnog. So the more you can do before you get everybody together, the better off the shot will be, because once you bring people together and you get that shot together and there's very little to do, and maybe you take 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of those shots, you'll nail it, and you will end up with some really, really terrific results. So I just wanted to give you guys an introduction to kind of thinking about how are you going to approach this. Maybe some of you guys have never done this before. Maybe some of you guys are just getting comfortable using off-camera flash, and you've been thinking to yourself, you know what, it would be so awesome if I could do a family portrait. Well, you know what? Do it. It's not that big a deal. You need your camera, you need at least one flash if you're going to be triggering from the on-camera flash. Oftentimes in a setting like that, you can trigger optically to an off-camera flash. Very, very simple. You don't need to do CLS. You don't need Pocket Wizards. You're not going to be doing anything kind of far range. You need a light stand. You need a tripod. You need an umbrella and an off-camera flash. It's really that simple. Some of you guys are just going to be able to put the pieces together from this and do it. Some of you guys are going to want more detail, and we'll share that in another video. So that's it for now. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below or email adamlernerphoto@gmail.com, and we'll see you soon.